Most people right?
Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Beautiful morning leading into Chodesh Adar. Shenichnas Adar Marben Besimcha. So we thought it's ready. It's after Shabbos Mavorchim. So we're ready in Chodesh Adar. Okay. Someone asked a question if they're allowed to. I got a call for jury duty, and they want to know if it's permissible for a Jew to be to report for jury duty. The question was, is it a mitzvah, a hidden mitzvah, an aveda, or a big aveda? Yeah. So the emes part of there is a shaila if a religious Jew could be a lawyer. There is a shaila if a religious Jew could be, if a Jew, who's asking the question, if a Jew could be a judge in a secular court. Okay. So okay. So let's start with. I mean, you're legally required to report when they send you a notice for jury duty. The truth is that there are people, they complain. They say, look, if all the Frumme Yidden are not going to report, and then yeah, but it's a good shaila. It's a good shaila. The shaila is a good shaila. Okay. This is what we're going to talk about now. This is what we're going to talk about. Okay. Shulchan Aruch says also lodem b'fnei dayoni akum bar kol shalhem pirish moshev kuim l'sar and lodem afilu b'din shadonim b'dini yisrael afilu nisatzu shnei baladinim lodem b'fneim osar. It's also to go to the Goyish court, to the Dayanim or to their court, even if the both sides are willing to do it. It's also Russia. It's a very tough word. Very, very tough word. And them is the market is the Gemara. The Gemara says in Gittin, it's a very strong lashon. Gemara says is daf peches. Hoyer tafnem kol makim that the moitza and gari shel bekhavim yat rashel azok lem shalem ve elam mishpatim. This week's pasha elam mishasam shtasim lefneim lefnei akum. Truth is that Rashi says in our parsha that when a person goes to a court of goyim, he's mashbiach shem avodah zarah. So someone could say today's secular court, which is not based on avodah zarah, it wouldn't apply. But the truth is, first of all, the question is what Rashi had in mind when he wrote that. But the bottom line is, all the poskim make it very clear it has nothing to do, even if it's a secular court that are not serving avodah zarah. That's the way it's mashma in the Lashon the Rambam and in the Shulchan Aruch, the Ramban and the Rashba. The Rashba says, so what's the difference if it's an avodah zarah court or not? You're saying if imat iyat came batalta din Yisrael, it's very clear. Shulchan Aruch makes some difference. There's a famous Chazon Ish beginning Sanhedrin. We asked him about Israeli secular courts, and he said that bavada that the Israeli secular court has the same equivalence to our cause. So and there's an additional chutzpah that it's in Eretz Yisrael and it's Jews. So the question is, so here, there's a stack of papers I'm holding that's a half a pound, and I could add to this a few more pounds, but there is I want to start with one interesting angle. That's very interesting. There is a journal called the Munasitech. It's a Mizrahi journal, and it's very interesting. There's a dispute here between two rabbonim, Mizrahi contemporary rabbonim. It's very cute where the starting point is, because it almost sounds like two chassidim. So the Rebbe gesagt azoi. The Rebbe, Rav Shapira Zecharon Levrocha and Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, they say, this is Dvarim Shabal Peh, they claim that they encourage their students to become judges in the Israeli court system. Now, the court system. So, So I think we all agree, we all understand that the reason that Mordechai Eliyahu Zecher Tzadik Levrocha did such a thing, first of all, you have to know if it's true. Could be it was anyways people that were going to be judges anyway, so encourage them to do it in a way that will make they'll, you know what I mean? I'm not convinced that there is a halacha to be learned. Could be there was someone that was anyway going, and he was in mishpatim. He was learning law. So the Mordechai Eliyahu encouraged him to do the right thing. In Israel, the law is hafuch al hafuch. It's crazy. It's crazy what goes on. The last, no, not anti-religious. That's separate. Something else. I think Stalin would be proud. Stalin would be very proud. What happened 2 weeks ago in Israel, even Stalin couldn't pull it off. It's like this. In order to appoint judges in Israel, this is the way it works. It's not appointed by a democracy. David Ben Gurion is dead, but really is David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayim. From his grave, he's appointing judges. How does it work? There's a panel. I think there's 10 people in the Supreme Court of Israel. 6 people out of this panel of 10 are members of the court, the judicial system, not elected officials. People that are directly appointed, shliach from David Ben Gurion. So in the beginning already, the system is flawed. The people do not appoint judges. The people do not people elect every 4 years members. They make laws, and the Israeli court system overturns those laws. So right to begin with, before you even start, and the left in Israel always says, and we have to follow the law. Very easy to say, because they make the law. They make the law. They have majority. The people could make laws. They will annul the laws. So there is no democracy in Israel. Okay. What happened 2 weeks ago would make Stalin proud. This was a class action. The Israeli government said there is a position that chief justice in the Israeli court. There was a justice that wants to be the chief justice, but he's under criminal investigation. So the Israeli government said that we want to wait. We want to wait. We don't want to appoint him. So they said, we're not coming. There has to be 10 people that will vote. Our 4 representatives are not shown. We want to wait. We can't. Enough is enough. He's suspected as a criminal. So we want to wait. Benjamin Netanyahu sends 4. David Ben Gurion sends 6. So Stalin sends 6. Netanyahu sends 4. So, exactly. To begin with, it's a joke. So the Israeli court said, okay, we don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you. We will appoint without the representatives of the court. We will appoint without the representatives in the court. That's what happened in Israel. 2 weeks ago. In Israel. No busha b'chlal. Yeah, but he's following their laws. He has no choice. What do you think? What do you think the president of the United States would do if the court appointed their own judges? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah. That's the Purim story. Now the real story is that think for 30 seconds, if the president of the United States, if it happened over here, that the Supreme Court appointed another judge. They decided they appointed another judge. Would it go? No. Would someone say, oh, we're waiting 30 years, we're trying to change this? That's the story. We heard that story so many times. That's the Purim story. What do you mean you're trying to change the system? It's so obvious. It's not that this is krum. Stalin couldn't pull off something so cool. The judge who is being investigated appoints himself the chief justice. And Israel and the Israeli politicians are saying, we're trying. Men are working 30 years. Men are working. What do you mean you're working in it? You send the military, you take them, you send them in jail, and then you appoint new judges that are elected by the people, and the new judges will judge what to do with these criminals. Either they get a life sentence or they get deported from Israel. So anyway, back to the Mordechai Eliyahu and Rav Shapiro. They tried very hard to change the system from within inside. But I have to say, from an outside view, whatever they did is not noticeable because there's a glass window in the military and in the judicial system. If you are a religious Jew, there is a very strong glass window, and everyone knows about it. Everyone knows about this glass window. If your opinions are not aligned, are not left of Bernie Sanders, again, repeat, if your opinions are not left of Bernie Sanders, you're going to be dealing your whole lifetime in court with complaints about the sanitation not coming down the block, and this block or that block. You're not being advanced. And the same thing is in the military, almost the same thing. So even though the Mordechai Eliyahu, Zachariah Levrocha, tried to fix, but I don't know if we even made a scratch or a dent. But again, this is all saying that it's true that Mordechai Eliyahu instructed his students to become judges. I'm not sure it's true. I don't know. It's very hard to say. It's very hard to know. It's not Vorim Shebiksav. I don't know. You have to see. Mordechai Eliyahu wrote a lot of tshuvas. He didn't write. They're saying that he said could be. It was anyway. Someone, like I said. Anyway, they're going to be a judge anyway. The Mordechai Eliyahu encouraged them to do it the right way, to try to make a change for the good. I'm going there anyway. Anyway, back to the Chassidim. The Chassidim, they don't take my, because I'm giving an explanation like a misnagid. That a Mordechai Eliyahu saw he's going anyway, so that's not the way a chassid thinks. So the question is, why did the Mordechai Eliyahu allow it? So here, the Mekel is the Machmer, and the Machmer is the Mekel. So there's one guy who writes, the Idu Alba. He says, it must be it's mutter. Why is it mutter? So his lamdas goes like this. Ashetosem lifneim. The Ran says, Ashetosem lifneim means that the judges, not talking about the Adam. If there's two Jews in secular court, and one of the sides say, I'm right? You saw I gave him the $100. Can you please come be my witness? So according to the Ran, it seems like it's mutter. Elamai, the Ramah says it's mutter b'deraisa, but the Rabbanon it's still also. Why is it Messiah the Oivre Aveda? There are later Achronim that say, why is it Messiah the Oivre Aveda? I know Reuven gave Shimon $100 and he can't get his $100 back. So they're in court. I'll go testify, and my friend can get his $100 back. Why, if I sit at home, I'm Messiah the Oivre Aveda. Back and forth and back and forth. I mean, the bottom line is, if you look, it's machmir. Chavetz Chaim is machmir. Others are mekel. Now you could ask, what's with a judge? You could say that only the Balei Dinim, that they are going to secular court, they're giving cheshivas to secular court. But how about the judge? So I'll tell you my svara. I mean, you could say Davar Pashut, yeah? So that's part of they're saying that in Israel, the law is so discombobulated, it's so not mugdar, that it's the Wild West, and every judge could do whatever he wants. So they said that that's right. No, the halacha is not. It's only there's a lashon there. The spirit. It's not. It's not even Jewish law. It said that it should be the judges should go with the spirit of Jewish culture, something like that. So shouldn't think it's as much as you said even. So the truth is that that's a consideration. But again, if you say it's our cause, Shaila is he allowed to be a judge in our cause? I would say Dava Poshet. If a person if a person has a choice, he could be a janitor and get minimum wages, or he could be a judge. So why is he being machshiv ilu yirosam? Why he's not being machshiv if he had a choice to have? But the emes is what I'm saying is wrong because judges are appointed from lawyers. So a person could practice law and make more money than being a judge. But that a judge is making less money than a lawyer. So it's very schwach, the svara, to say that it's not an edus le'ila yurasam. I'm not giving credence to the court. I don't want to be a janitor. Instead, I want to be a judge. I want to be a judge instead of a janitor. But that's not true. You have to have credentials. So in order to be a judge, you can sign a lawyer. So you could bring home the matzah balls anyway. And in most cases, becoming a judge, you took a pay cut. Why did you take a pay cut? Because the prestige. Being in a secular court is prestigious. So them and they stock up. So therefore, it's a little bit problematic. Now, again, I don't know if Mord Chaliyahu said anything, but Laniach, he said, this is the machlokes that they have. They say, one says, you see, so he must hold that the halacha is like that, and that and the judge is just like Adam, there's no thing. I think judges. Problem is that Adam is himself that Amos says is also, and that Rabbi Kiva says it's also the Rabbanon. And here is worse, because if I know that Reuven gave Shimon $100, but I know if I'm going to sit home and he's going to lose the court case, somebody could say I did an avla. But the judge, he has Ruach HaKodesh. How does he know? What does he know? What does he know? So who gave him the right to go sit on the secular court? Also, aid is not giving prestige that much to the court by coming and testifying as much as a judge. So I'm not sure. The one that was Makel, one second. The one that's Makel, his word is that it depends the kavona. He says that it depends the kavona of the judge. If his kavona is because it's choshev to him, or he wants to infiltrate the Israeli system and he wants to bring in dinei Torah. So the other side says, how could that be? That's true. Your kavona, dvarim shebalei beinam dvarim. Is it mutter or asan? And the fact that Mord Chaliyahu said is shma mino, that it's mutter. So anyway, like I said, mikor de din akasha. I'm not sure that Mord Chaliyahu said it. Didn't say. He never wrote a tshuva about this. So back to the jury. Now the shaila is about the jury. So bottom line. So again, it seems that midday Torah wouldn't be an issur. Shaila would be issur d'Rabbanan because Mesayela de Aveda, or if it's Michshel, it's not a deraisa because everything can run without you too. So the shaila is like this. I would say that a juror is a different thing than a judge, because you're legally required to show up, and if you don't show up, you're breaking the law. So anyone that it's not like a judge. A judge. I'll tell you a story. I was a boch in yeshiva, and I got the thing that I should go for jury duty. At that time, I was a boch in yeshiva. I didn't learn yet how to read and write, so I didn't know how to read and write English. So ich habe nicht gewusst. So I asked my mother to read it for me, and she told me, "Oh yeah, they have to go downtown Brooklyn." Okay, not a big deal. Take the 3 train. When should I go? I put it in my calendar. Aleph Adar. Okay, I show up, 1 o'clock, Aleph Adar. I go downstairs. I wait with the desk. The guy looks. He says, "The wrong date. You were supposed to come yesterday." I was naive, and I said, "It was a Yiddish guy." I said, "I'm sorry. I go with the Jewish calendar, and I got mixed up." We Jews have to appreciate what America did for us. What an audacity! You say such a thing. I'm going to teach you a lesson. He said those words. As soon as he said those words, I mean, I see a red cloth. I'm going to teach you a lesson. It's in the court. I don't know what he has in mind. He turned around. He turned a little bit. Before, I don't know how much he turned, but by the time he did a full turn, it was like wings. I went flying out that building, and I ran out. I have no idea what he had in mind. I have no idea what he had in mind. I went flying out that building. I took the train, came back to Crown Heights, and who do I meet when I come out of the train? Mr. Lieberman. He lived over here in Flatbush. He was a lawyer. I said, you remember Mr. Lieberman? I saw Lieberman. He was waiting in line to get a sandwich in Mermelstein's, the one of the oldest Jewish delis in the United States of America, in Crown Heights on Kingston Avenue. So,
How long do you have shit?
Okay, very good. So I went in and I asked him about it. He said, look, it's true that legally you have to come, but they don't have the budget to pursue people that are not coming. So the Bela stayed by that. I know, that was it. But the emes is, I would say that a Jew that's going, it's not a edus leilu yerosam. If a judge, I see, even though I see there's a tshuva from Rabbi Menashe Klein that says it's befetish also. I haven't read the whole tshuva. Like I said, also to be a juror. I didn't read the tshuva yet because I pushed it this morning, didn't get a chance. But I could see that being a shoifet should be a chilul shem shamayim. But to be a juror in America, where you're required, it could be a chilul Hashem, the opposite, if no Fulham Jew shows up. A person could always say, if there is a Jew if they're adjudicating a Jew, a person could always say, when they vet the jury, he could always say that I follow the Torah laws. So since there's a Jew, defendant is a Jew, I'm going to have to, whatever I'm going to judge, it'll be based on the Torah, on the Choshe Mishpat. Obviously, the lawyers will recuse him at that point, and that would be fine. I mean, just a person shouldn't be a chosed shoita. A person could do that and make a Jew lose out of it. A person could sometimes, if there's a person, obviously by case to case basis, a person should talk with, ein adam don yechida. You shouldn't judge for yourself. So either you talk to your mashpia or to your rov. If there's a Jew involved in the case, and you maybe adarabah, you could help him. I think so. The emes is, even if, yeah.
I love jury trial. The potential juror people, and they'll say, "Do any of you have any connection to?"
Right. So you do know the names. I'm all shver. Right. I'm not sure it's like they say they asked. It was the first votes they had in Israel, the 1948. So there was machlokas. There were many Gdoli sold the Dafki should go vote. So they say the story. The Briskerov said it's a mitzvah to go vote. So they said, "Mamash, he meant as a mitzvah ve'achilas matzah." He said, "No, as a ve'achilas morer." So
I was one.
Yeah.
And the Lord, people. So I got up, right?
Yeah.
And they asked me, "Are you president or something?" And was a black and white. No, I said yes. Yes, I was marked by black people, but I don't like them. Tell me, how do we downstairs? Tell me down. I went downstairs.
Okay. Why is that a chilul?
Huh?
What's that chilul?
They call me, but time of COVID. So,
I was from school for jury duty. In fact, I didn't go, but I thought about it. I said to myself that if I'm going to go to a case where they don't on my notes, I'll just
Do it according to Choshen Mishpat.
No, answer in such a way that they would refuse me.
Oh.
But, so if I would be in a case with a criminal, then I would agree to go to participate.
Why?
Because even the B'nai Noach are chayav
To
to,
have, right.
yeah.
I didn't say you shouldn't go. I said the opposite. I said you should go. Oh, Rabbi Klein? Rabbi Klein said you're not allowed to go. But I think I have to read his truth. I think you should go. Obviously, you're not allowed to take it. But the question was if you could be a juror. That's the question. Rabbi Klein says that you're not allowed to be a juror. It's hard to me to imagine why it would be forbidden to be a juror. I will read about his tshuva and I will. Right. Right, you can affirm. Today you affirmed. Right. That's good. Okay, I want to go to the next question. I'll be mine in this tshuva, and the way I see it now, it's hard. It's hard to say it's also to be a juror. I could see it being problematic to being a judge, and Itake, there is a Sefer Mereshus Moshe Rabbi Tenenbaum. He was working for. He has a secretary to the Moshe Feinstein Zechrona Levracha, and he says that there was once a Jew that asked him about he's Jewish and he wants to know if he's allowed to be appointed a judge, and the Moshe said it's not relevant right now. Apparently, it wasn't relevant at that moment. When it becomes more relevant, come back and I will think about it. So it's interesting. I just said. So okay, right. So I it's like right. I had in my shul. I had my shul in the Bronx, in Young Israel, the Baychester. Very choshev a judge. A lot of Jews that would. Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question. One second. Yeah. Which one? Because they had no choice. What do you mean? That the Shulchan Aruch says that if your guy is stealing from you and the Bezdin can't do anything, the Bezdin gives you a written thing to say that you could get your stolen goods back from the secular court. That's what happened. They went to Bezdin. He refused to show up. So the Bezdin said there was no choice. He kept on stealing and he kept on selling it. As they were talking, he was selling. Okay. Someone called me up. Businesses, exactly. Business was business. Okay, someone called me up. The shliach that usually sells his hummus through me. And there's a woman that comes to the Chabad house and she teaches in the school. And right behind, and there's always a problem with parking. So right behind the school, there is a church. They have a parking lot, and they decided to open it up for the teachers. And they're charging whatever it is, $100, not a lot of money a month. Machaya, this way you don't have a problem with parking. Just one ticket. So her question was if it's permissible for her to pay a rental for a parking space in the church parking lot. So the first question I asked was, where is the parking lot? Is it in the same chotzer? Is it in the same block of the church, or is it just that the church owns this parking lot? Maybe the church is on one block and this is on the other block. No. It's on the same block. It's on the same property. It's surrounded with the same gate. But they they have, why not? They can make a couple of extra dollars, and it's quiet during the week, so they're renting it out to the teachers. But the bottom line is very schwer to be made. It's very, very schwer to be made. And I told him it's very problematic. He called back the woman. The woman said, Rabbi, I don't want to have kulas. Very nice. It's a woman that's not so yet involved in every detail of keeping mitzvahs, but she realized that this is a serious question. She said, okay, fine, whatever. I'll keep on circling the blocks, and the Eibishter will help. And Baruch Hashem, she did the right thing. Read it quickly. Narach writes a simple kuf mem gimel. There was, the Avodah Zarah had a bathhouse, and then they have the toiva yotzmem hilakoinim muter lohanetzmem shaloi betoiva. You're allowed to have a noah if they're not getting any toiva from you. But also lohanetzmem betoiva. You're not allowed to have a noah if they get good from you. What does it mean they're getting good or not getting good from you? We'll learn about it in a second. Even if others share the good with the kohanim, so it's still also. In other words, the church has a big budget. A look of the money goes for the a chelik for the galochim, and a chelik for the math teacher, the soup kitchen. So it's afila yesh lachedim chelik b'toiva. It's also also. If there is no toiva for the kohanim, for the galochim, only the money only goes for a soup kitchen. Is muter lehonas b'mafil b'toiva, afil guinness b'merch levada. If money is going to a soup kitchen. Yesh Shaimer says the Rabbi Shein also lehonas b'mena imateva bo lekohanim elok sheim oimdim chotzer avetz kachov ematzim. Avok shein emdim lefanel. Afa b'shat toiva yotzmem hilakohanim muter lehonas b'mena imloy shat toiva avetz kachov ematzim. Here's a shita that if this building is not on the same chotzer as the Avodah Zarah itself, even if there's a toiva to the kohanim, it's mutter. As long as the toiva is not going to the Avodah Zarah itself. What does it mean the toiva is going to Avodah Zarah itself? They're taking the money and they're buying bananas and they're putting it in front of the Avodah Zarah. They're taking their money and they're building an Avodah Zarah. Could also be, I'm not sure, that they're taking the money and paying their mortgage. So that's already a little dicey. So that's why I said that if the parking lot is not gated in with the Avodah Zarah, you could say that Mistama, a lot of these churches, they paid up their mortgage long ago. And Elamai, the money is going where? It's a big budget. Some is going to the soup kitchen, some is going to the janitor, some is going to the galochim, and some is going to the math teacher. So it's a sheer toiva. It's not on the same property, it's mutter. But on the same property, you have a problem. Read the Be'er HaGoyla. The Be'er HaGoyla says, this is Mishnah and Avodah Zarah Daf Nun Aleph. It's a Mishnah. Now the Mishnah said, the truth is, the Mishnah says that if they're sharing the toiva, it wouldn't be a problem. But over here is talking about a worst case, worst toiva. So, I'm sorry. Rashi pirish betoiva, mischar, shamayel lam. Rabbi Natan pirish, shamach zek toiva lekoinim b'devreim, v'chem mash b'devrei Rambam, v'chasam b'rayim v'chein skemarosh. V'cha b'sosan dvoros, v'nire l'aniz daitish oiso b'shneim. The machloikis, what does it mean you're giving them a toiva, not giving them a toiva? The machloikis is makotza lakotzas. Some shittas in the Rishonim saying you give them a thank you card. And a lot of, but if you're paying them, listen, you're going to rent the parking spot. If you're not going to rent the parking lot, someone else will rent the parking spot. So what's the big deal? That's not called toiva. Thank you card. Rebbe Reuven gave me a thank you card. The galach is very happy. That's not allowed to do. But money, business is business. The other Rishonim say just the opposite. Is billig. It doesn't cost a lot of money to promise things and to tell someone you love them. See, write the galach a note. Shine. Paying money? Money. Have the world runs on money, not on Dunkins, on money. That's what the world runs on. So wait, you're giving the money? So it's a machloikis me'akotza lakotza. And the Be'er HaGoyla says, that both are awesome. So if you're giving them money or a card, and the money is going to the galochim, even if it's being shared and some of the money is going to a soup kitchen, it's awesome. Yeah. Not the janitor, because that's a problem. But for the soup kitchen. Then it would have been good. Then it would be good. Then it would be good. But I don't think the church will be masking. The secretary is going to diminish up. You want the space? You don't want the space. Here's where you sign. Here's the check. Attach it. No, but you're joking because you know it goes into the same account, and it's shared. Oh no, no problem, no problem, no problem. Give him coffee. Right, right. This is true. This is also true. It's also true. It's a big modest ayin. The Jews walking out.
Rabbi,
Okay. Huh? Should write him a card about his hairstyle. Huh? I don't know. It's a good shaila. I don't know what the deal was over there. You know what? I'm sad to tell you. Motzei Shabbos, I get a phone call from a younger man in a very choshev yeshiva in one of the states in the United States of America. And it's a Al-Karas HaKodesh, Kodesh Kadoshim yeshiva. And they can't find the building. They found that there is a Protestant church that they have a big compound and they have a church and they have a building and have another building, and their shvach business is very shvach, and they have one building that's empty. So the yeshiva made a good deal. They're renting it from them. They took out all the tzlomim and they're renting it. So the guy asked me if it's mutter. So I can't believe it. Here, how could a yeshiva? So I want to read to you two tshuvas from the Moshe Feinstein Zecher Tzadik Levrach. Now, there's two parts to the shaila. I didn't even tell him about the Zigris Moshe because I'm shaking. I told him that since the yeshiva are Erlich Hayid, and so it's their business. He doesn't have to lose his parnas over it. He doesn't have to pull his kids out of the school over it. But really, it doesn't sound good. I said, did the yeshiva say that they spoke to Rav? Yeah, they spoke to Rabbonim. So I said, could you give me name and numbers? No, they don't want to say. They don't want to say which Rav. This is playing games. It's playing games. A yeshiva. I want to read to you two tshuvas. Huh? They didn't consult with me. They didn't consult. The teacher asked me if he has to quit. The teacher asked me if he's obligated to quit. Question. Just for the school. Huh? Then it would be different if they're not buying it, they're renting it. If they buy it, they'll give in good. Even then you have to deal with this truth, but then we can deal with it. Digas Moshe writes in Yoredei Chela Gimel Tzimnayin Zayin, B'dov Shi Ef Shel Hasik Mokum La Yeshiva Ktana, Ela B'Binyan HaShayich LaBeis Avodah Zarah V'Shal Noitzim. You know, you grew up in the Lower East Side. Moshe Feinstein, his whole thing in life was trying to be makel for Jews. Tried to be makel. But when it came to this, he didn't like it. He says, Oymed B'chutz Eitzel HaBinyan Pashut She'osur Af Lachshav Davar Kazeh. He said, it's also to even think of such a thing. Rav Shobinyan Nifred Mebeis Atifla, Mekiva Shesamach Lebeis Tifla Shem, the Kolchkein Shatzelev Husham, V'toiv Oisim Harabonim She'em Askimim Lazav, V'tzirichim Lavakesh Livnois, or Liknas Mokum Aroi La Yeshiva, or Bevada Yazrechem Hashem Yisbarech. He didn't even go into Popul Nalocha. He's going in, he said, how could you say such a thing? A yeshiva should want to rent a building within the courtyard of a Beis Avodah Zorah? How could you do such a thing? Another tshuva, Oida Chaim Simemem Ois Chavot. He didn't even. He was talking less than that. He wrote, "Ef shel hasik makom la yeshiva ktana ela bebinyan hashayach lebeis avodah zorah." It's shayach. It wasn't even maybe in the same. He says the building belongs to the Beis Avodah Zarah.
So let's say the church owns the building. That's flow.
I don't know. He didn't bring so many Ma'amekoimus and halacha, and so I don't know. I don't know. Okay, listen. What could they do? Oh yeah. Right. Bigis Moshe Rechaim Simamem Bedvar Lischik Yelodem Mischik Kader Beula Mashayach Latif Ladak. My yeshiva asked if they could use the gym to that's shaykh also to a gym that shaykh to a church. Vade Osor Avshem Shem Tzuris Harchik Mila Darket Siv Zuminus Bavoid Zora Dafid Zayin if you go far away from it.
Yeah, cross.
He says even if there's no crosses there. Vamasisim Vavshem Shem Tzuris Vamasisim Vamadichim He Hohim Harbe Nimtsoim Shem Beyois Vadarabe Yeshi Lalamed La Yelodim Shi Serachik Misham V'hu Mokim Mishuket Zemetur Af shetzorich ze leize Talmud Torah ein lahatir. Ubeyoysa kesef yasigu eiza mokim. You spend a little more money, you'll find another place to do the sports. That's a separate channel. That's a separate channel. That's a separate channel. It's very complicated. It's very complicated. Yeah. It's a separate thing. Yeah. Much better. Yeah. This is Shiva is not in Brooklyn. It's not in Brooklyn. Okay. L'chaim. Malchus Risha Mehedes Akir Shabris Mager Besachnia Bemheide Beivenu She'av Michnas Ader Marbim Besimcha. It should be Nofal Pachad Yehudim and the Goyim. Mr. Shem, thank you very much. Going until next the following week Thursday. Yes, Mr. Shem. Yes, I'll be there Thursday. Probably in Yerushalayim. But otherwise, my sister lives in Elad, so I could always be with my sister. Yeah, Nayom. לשבועיים, אבל אני אעשה בזום, כל השיעורים. All the shiurim are continuing. Next week, Sunday, will be Rabbi Fologorevich, but otherwise, the night I'm going to zoom in.